Welcome back, guys, to another episode of F1 2023. This is week 12 in Hungary. So let's see how we get on and maintain that P1 position that we're trying to achieve for the rest of the season. As always, we're going to do a few practice laps and then we are going to go straight into qualifying and then the race day, which consists of 5 laps. So yeah, the car's been performing very well last couple of weeks for us. If you are coming from the previous videos, you will know that we have won the last 3 races. We haven't done too bad qualifying wise as well. So yeah, hopefully we can maintain this as we go around the track here in Hungary. And let's see how we get on. This is a new track for me. I haven't had many races around Hungary or any time trials. So the first couple of laps we will just try and ease around, take it easy, get used to the circuit, get used to the car again. There has been a few upgrades. And yeah, let's see if we can keep on pushing for that P1 that we're aiming for. Overall, the last couple of weeks have been perfect qualifying, perfect races to say the least. We are still aiming for that top 10 driver championship place and then top 5 for the team constructors championship. First couple of corners here on the circuit, not too bad. Trying to get some pace here as we go around. A few sharp corners, we have to be careful of the braking here as well. Just getting used to the car and the circuit here on these couple of laps that we are going to be doing. Picking up some pace here as we go through these corners. The car with the upgrades has had quite a lot of pace added to it, which is great. We've got more stability and dynamics have improved drastically as well. As you'll recall from the first couple of videos, in the first couple of weeks the car was a bit all over the place. But I feel like now we are keeping the car on track, whereas we would have been spinning out on various corners. Right, as we come through to the finish line here on practice lap 1. We do set the fastest time of 1:22.016. Russell in P2 just behind us as well. So we are going to see if we can improve on our practice lap 2 here, just to see how we get on. As always with the practice laps, it's more just a case of getting used to the circuit. It may be circuits that I haven't actually driven around before, so it's just to get a feel for the car, where we need to brake and where we can get that pace and pick up speed. 1/10 slower on this lap compared to our previous lap, so we are just obviously trying to pick up some pace here and see if we can improve on the time that we've set. We do have a new rival, as you would have seen in the previous episode. Carlos Sainz is our new rival, so we are going to try and out-qualify him as I go a bit wide there on that turn. We're going to try and out-qualify him, out-race him, and yeah, hopefully beat him. As you would have seen, we lost that rivalry with Sonoda in weeks 5 and 6, so not the best there. So yeah, we are hoping for a more positive outcome on that rivalry as well. Again, we have the pace to match the Ferraris currently, it seems, because the car has been performing very, very well. Lap 2 there, 0.6 of a second slower, so we were unable to improve our time there on that lap. We will do one final practice lap and see if we can improve our time here. Hopefully we should be able to, but again, it's just a case of getting used to the circuit, practicing, just getting some extra laps in, see how we fare. We are still P1, which is great. At least we have kept that. Alright, we've gone off there. No damage to the car, luckily. That's not going to bode well for this lap. Very wide again on that corner. It's the same corner that caught us out on the second lap. As you can see, it's more a case of just getting used to the actual circuit and the corners itself. But we are coming up to the end of lap 3 here on our practice session. Again, a bit wide there, we could have gone through smoother. 7/10 slower, so we did end up slower on that one as well. We have a few cars now coming out of the pits to do their practice sessions, so we are going to try and do one final lap if we can. If not, we will just slow down and let the cars go past us if it's not looking like we are going to beat our time. Bottas in front of us. We can easily get past him, but again, as I say, if we're not looking like we are going to improve our time, then we will just slow down and go back to the garage. Right, we are going to carry on here, but it looks like we are going to go back to the garage because obviously we've done our 3 practice laps and we're not going to beat our time. We're just going to let some of the cars through and just return to the garage and make it much easier. We've done our 3 practice laps, so then we can just crack on and go straight into qualifying here. We are just going to advance the time and see where we do finish as well in the practice sessions. We are currently still in P1 though, so that's great. We have Leclerc in his Ferrari and George Russell doing 122 mids. But a lot of cars are now hitting the 122 barrier, so hopefully we can stay in P1 for this practice session, but again, not too critical if we do end up dropping, like you just see there. Hamilton overtaking us. And Leclerc a 121 as well. George Russell going quickest with 121.6. So we will be aiming for a 121, 122 in the qualifying session and see how we get on there. Again, we are aiming for another P1 qualifying / race weekend if we can. So at the end of practice, we do end up down in 7th. Lando, at least our teammate, is up in 4th, so it does show that the McLaren is performing better now with the upgrades that we've had over the last couple of weeks. As you would have seen as well in the races, with us finishing 1st and Lando finishing in the top 5 over the last couple of weeks, it has helped us massively. Right, we're going to go to the one-shot qualifying now. Again, as always, this is just one lap, one time, and that is where we will be on the podium. So, on the race day, apologies. So, we will hope for the best here. And, yeah, let's see how we get on for this qualifying lap. As you can see in the top left there, we are currently P1. That will change throughout this lap if any cars are quicker than us. And then we will see where we finish on this lap for race day. Still currently P1, so we are the quickest round the lap so far, but it has only just started. Taking that corner perfectly, slowed down a bit. As you can see, Hamilton is now the quickest. He is currently in P1. We've dropped down to 4th. Okay, taking that corner much better compared to practice, where we ended up in the actual speed limit. Very wide there, very wide, so we are going to lose some time. As you can see, we've dropped back down to 4th. Only a few cars in front of us time wise, so hopefully we can pick up some pace through here and then finish that. Okay, we have dropped down to 5th, so we are losing some time here. Very wide there again on that corner, very wide. We've dropped down to 8th, 7th, as you can see. Coming up to the finish line here, we are back into P4, we are P3. Okay, so we have finished P3 by the looks of it. That is where we will be starting on the grid on race day. So not the best of qualifying laps. We did go wide on a few corners there. We could have performed much better, but P3 is still at the top. We will take that, we can't complain. 3 Brits on the podium, again, same as Silverstone. First, second and third on race day. So we shall now go to the actual race day itself and let's see if we can get a good start. We have out-qualified Sainz there, so we get some extra points. Currently leading 9-4 as well in the rivalry. 4 races remaining after this. So yeah, we are looking good so far in the rivalry. And let's go to race day now and see how we get on. 5 laps as always with the race day. So we will just go through these laps. Hopefully we can have a decent first lap and overtake Russell and Hamilton there in P1 and P2. If not, we will try and see if we can at least maintain a podium finish like we have for the last couple of races, or at least top 10. That has been our goal for every race so far this season. Top 10 finish, just to get into the points. So let's see how we can get on now in this race, and as I say, we'll give it our best. We'll push the car hard. We know that it can perform because of the recent upgrades that it's had, so it's definitely working in our favour. So yeah, we just need a good start here.
And joining, let's talk about Miller. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
After the points finished last race, let's aim to
right, start of the race here. As you can see, lights are out. Quick start there. We're already in line with Hamilton, so we've overtaken Hamilton already. We're going to try and take Russell into the first corner here. See how we get on. Brake late. Touch a bit with Russell there. We need to be careful there. See if we can get past him. We should get past him, and we do. That's perfect. Great first couple of corners there. We are P1 now. Let's see if we can maintain this position in the race. DRS will be enabled on lap 3, so we need to pick up some pace here and make sure that we maintain at least a second's gap to the cars behind, so they don't have the chance to close the gap and overtake us. We have gone a bit wide there, need to be careful. Very wide on that corner there as well. Just need to settle down now in the race and just focus on these corners, next couple of corners. Russell, as you can see, is 1/10 of a second behind, so any error here and he could just come straight through and take that P1 position back. So we need to pick up the pace and make sure we are taking the corners nice and neatly here. Coming up to the end of the first lap here, we are still in P1. 5/10 of a second behind is Russell, and then nearly a full second behind is Hamilton as well. We do set the fastest lap of 1:26, but as you saw in qualifying and in practice, we can set a 1:22, 1:21, so see if we can pick up the pace here as we go through the next couple of laps. We are going to aim and try and get a fastest lap if we can. Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris already 1 and 2 seconds behind, so the gap really is just to Russell. Russell is falling quite far behind though, so let's see if we can pick up some time over the next couple of laps, because at the end of this lap DRS will be enabled on lap 3, so if he is less than a second he will have that extra boost for his car. Perfect through those corners there where we have normally gone off, so that's great. Bit wide there again still. Just picking up the pace here. As you can see, he's dropped back down to 2/10 of a second, so Mercedes are picking up some pace, but again, just put our foot down late on the brakes there, but we are fine. Russell gone up to just over a second now, so that works in our favour as we are coming to the end of lap 3 here. DRS will be enabled, but because the gap is more than a second, he won't be able to use that against us, which is perfect. And we do set the fastest lap of 1:22, as you can see there. DRS has been enabled as well, so let's see if they will catch us. All very wide there on that corner. Luckily the gap is significant, so nobody's overtaken us. Still 1.5, 1.6 seconds behind Russell, so we have got a bit of a gap, but again, any error can be costly here, so we need to focus and concentrate on these last couple of laps as we are going round. Very wide again on that corner, very wide, nearly went off there into the wall. Would not have been great. Okay, perfect now. As you can see, Russell has closed the gap to 4/10 of a second, so he will be getting the DRS zone near the end of the track on the home straight as well. He will get that extra boost. Hamilton as well will get the boost behind Russell. Last couple of corners here on lap 3. Okay, we are coming round now the bend on the home straight, and this will be lap 4 as we are coming into that now. Russell still behind 0.5 of a second. George Russell has set the fastest lap, but quickly overtaken by Verstappen there, 1:21.9. So the cars are quicker behind us, so we need to pick up the pace here a bit and see if we can just put some more space between us and them. Hopefully we can maintain this P1 position. 0.5 of a second behind is Russell. I feel like he may be closing the gap soon. Next couple of corners, so we need to make sure that we take these perfectly as we're going around here. Okay, again, not the best through that chicane there. That's really caught us out all weekend, really, through practice, qualifying, and now the race. Russell 1.7 seconds behind, so he has dropped off drastically there. Over a second behind now. He is quickly losing pace there. 2 seconds behind now, he's dropped off. So we have got, again, a bit of a leeway. We are on lap 4 as we're coming around the bend now. We will start our final lap. Russell has dropped into the pit, so he must have had a collision or a problem with his car. Hamilton up into P2 and Verstappen P3. Lando, our teammate, is in P4. And yeah, Russell is nowhere to be seen now. So he must have had an issue at some stage because he dropped off drastically there. He was only 0.4 of a second behind. And then as we was coming around the last couple of corners, he was about 3 seconds behind. So final lap here. Just going to keep it nice and neat, nice and tidy as we go around these corners. Don't do anything silly. And hopefully we will be closing in on our 4th consecutive win. That is what we are aiming for here. Very wide there, very wide on that corner. Again, that's that same corners and turns that have caught us out. Hungary hasn't been too bad of a circuit to race on. There are quite a few sharp corners and a lot of braking areas, but overall it's not been too bad. I feel like we can be quicker around here instead of the times that we have set. Obviously, as you can see, Verstappen has set a 1:21, so there's no doubt that we can set a similar pace if we take those corners perfectly, but we have made a few not costly errors because we are still P1 as we are coming up to the finish line here. But we can improve.
Oh, superb driving. That is the race
Another
win,
P1 there, another
well
P1.
done.
That is the 4th consecutive one. We'll let Max Verstappen have the driver of the day. At least he gets something, as well as finishing 3rd. That is absolutely fine. But we did get another win here, so back to the podium we go. Another champagne celebration will be on its way for us. Race winner there, that is nice to see, especially after the horrendous start to the season we had after the dreadful 6-7 weeks. We have now turned a corner the last 3 or 4 races. As I say, 4th consecutive win here on the podium yet again in P1. It's perfect, love to see it. Another trophy for the cabinet. There we go, so another 25 points as well. We couldn't get the fastest lap there, unfortunately. As you can see, Hamilton and Verstappen, 1:21.4s. So, yeah, very, very quick around there. We are still P7th in the driver standings, closing the gap slightly to Perez. Carlos Sainz is 4th, he's on 169, so 59 points ahead of us. But hopefully with some more races and some more wins we can close that gap to Sainz, who is our rival. Lando behind us, 8th, which is great. Obviously we was looking for a top 10 for ourselves in the driver standings. And then constructor standings, we are looking for a top 5 finish. We are currently 4th, which is great. Got a bit of a gap between us and Aston Martin in 5th. But again, that's great to see that Lando and myself both in the top 10 there. We got an extra 4 points ahead of Sainz, which is great. That will work in our favour as we go through the rivalry there. Alright, we have a few upgrades that are due in the next couple of weeks. They won't be ready for Belgium, but they will be ready for the races after that. So that will be the end of this episode. As always, make sure to hit that like and don't forget to subscribe as well. And I will catch you all on the next episode in Belgium.